Hey ladies and gents, it's Sister Wiz here with the review of Thraice Wraithhailer. She is one of the most anticipated figures from the Poxus wave for me, and she is a new race in Mythic Legions called the Umengeist, first of her kind. Kind of reminds me of Maria Goldenbranch with the green elf, the forest elf, that, for a while was just the only one of her kind. But this is let me read the bio and that'll explain her for you. And you can see what I find particularly appealing about her. All right, Thraice Wraithhailer. Elusive and dangerous, the pale-skinned Umengeist are thought by many to be apocryphal. A corrupt, supernatural mingling of flesh and phantasm, the ashen-skinned Umengeist are all too real to those unfortunate enough to cross their path. Thraice Wraithhailer's ambition has driven her to augment her deadly capabilities by learning the ways of summoning magic. Thraice's inherent connection to the spirit world heightens her abilities to devastating effect. An unquenched lust for power eventually drove her into the fold of the Circle of Poxus, where Thraice Wraithhailer emerged from the shadows as a transformed being created by the horrific melding of unnatural magical powers. So she sold her soul for power because she's, I guess, evil, even though she's awful cute, I think. Small and petite and a snazzy dresser. And she has that sort of allure of the, danger, right? So, Umengeist, let's take a closer look. Let me bring her over here. Love her outfit. I like all these little details. Look at how all these eyelets are painted perfectly by the factory and the details there, as well as these laces that it's sort of kind of like a corset going up. And very, very cool. And then she's got an armored body. We've seen some of these parts before, and it's sort of a lighter black and then sort of a leathery brown on the boots. There we are, there's some more buckles painted there. And it just gives her kind of a stealthy look, which goes well with her purple cloak because she comes with two heads specifically so that her hood can go over her head and she can, engage in secret missions or do whatever it is that she needs to do to help Poxus reach his nefarious ends. This is a very, very cool, I think it's a new staff, I'm not sure, but what I like about this is that it's specially made for these 2.0 female body hands, and it fits really nicely without stretching out the fingers. Like I know that Hera Serpentspire, her figure had a big, huge staff, and it just stretches her hands out a lot. And it was difficult to keep her holding that staff. But none of that is going to be an issue with this girl because this staff fits her perfectly. And then it's got that translucent blue orb, right? So to allow her to, perform her magical unnatural magical acts. Here she has like a flying skull. It's got this really cool tail that can curve around her arm so that she can hold it. And then you could see, I love that translucent. It's a little bit undersized skull, but magical. Number one, this is a new magical effect that we haven't seen with any other figures. And I'm always a sucker for anything that's translucent. So you could see the sun hitting that and how beautifully that looks and how dynamic that sculpt is. Then we also have this magical effect, which is even more of a favorite for me because it is a snake. And so she can hold that kind of like a staff, right? And I love that. It's kind of like the, Harry Potter animals, like the spirit animals. So I imagine that this magical snake leaps forward and attacks her enemies and wreaks havoc. But the cool thing about this is I'm going to make it into a flying serpent. I'm going to take some, wings and attach them to the snake. And then I'll have me like a, flying serpent, like a Quetzalcoatl, or like the mascot for Basilia. These wings I just got from another figure, and I think they'll work nicely maybe with a little paint. So very, very good sculpt, no paint, but the translucent makes it very, very cool and makes it look very magical as well. She's got this like leather belt. No weapons, so to speak, since she's a magic wielder. But one of the highlights of this figure is definitely this beautiful cape with the hood and deep purple. The purple gang's going to appreciate that. All the clothes underneath, like the skirt, are shiny black. Very cool. And then these also have wires, so you can create dynamic poses, which are really cool with the magic wielder, because you're going to want a cape that you can pose as if the magical power is flowing through her up and out, and when she's when she's attacking. The other cool thing about the face, hopefully you can see the details here, the sculpt is exquisite. I love the paint. I love how dilated her pupils are. The look of concentration in her face, the furrowed brow, the angry eyebrows, beautiful, beautiful hair, right? So I'm real curious to see what the other Umengeists look like, whether they're all this pale gray or whether they're in various states of decay, because they're part human and part phantasm. So, hey, who knows? It's a very intriguing new race that we have here. And this is her with her cape. Of course, you can just take her head off easily. I loosened her up by hitting her with the hair dryer, the hot air, as recommended by the 4 Horsemen. And I really like her even without the cape, right? Without that very cool purple billowy cape. You can have the pauldrons on or off. I have the pauldrons on here. Creates a really cool silhouette. And just something about the leather armor. This could appear to be like a leather armor or a leather outfit. The bracers, just the whole way that she's put together is very, very cool. And obviously the beautifully sculpted hair just flowing over her shoulders. And she can actually look around because the hair is flexible. So heck, she could turn her head completely around. There she is. One of the pauldrons fell off, but that'll just let you see what the pauldrons look like, or what she looks like without the pauldrons. Let me see here. Oh, that's in there really tight. Again, when I put the pauldrons in, I also hit it with that hair dryer so that you get a nice, tight, snappy fit, right? But there she is in a more casual look without the pauldrons. And then let me remove this head and put the other head on. The important thing about this head is that it lets the hood just, forgot something. If you put the cape on, right, and then you put the alternate head, the way the hair is sculpted allows you to put the hood over her head for a very, very cool effect, sort of shadowy and mysterious. You can put it down so far that it's covering everything except her mouth, right? Or you could have it back up so you could see that, beautiful face. I can imagine somebody's going to make a little Red Riding Hood. Maybe a little purple Riding Hood. But she is absolutely gorgeous. Everything about her, Both sculpts are very similar. I studied them for a while so I could see if there was a difference in the face sculpt. Couldn't really see a difference, but obviously quite a difference in the way the hair is sculpted, right? Because it's swept forward this way that allows the hood to go forward. And a nice little touch. And then, of course, you could just have the hood just back like that, and that looks cool. So that's the very, very cool thing about Mythic Legions, is all these different options that you get. As far as like looks, I think I will probably go with this, just because I just love the way the hair flows. And then I'll just have the hood down, right? And because to me it's, yeah, if she's on a covert mission for Apoxis and, you know, doing stuff like that, then it'd be good to have her hood on and have the alternate head on. But just in general, I don't want to hide that pretty face. She stands very, very well, moves very, very well. Like I said, I hit her with that, as you know, with the hair dryer, and heated her up, and no problems with the plastic, no problems with everything. Very, very high quality all the way around. She's got alternate hands as well. Some different right and left spell casting hands. There's one and there's another. So when you have her casting her spells, you're going to want those. When you have her gripping her magic wand, you're going to want the gripping hands. And then there are alternate gripping hands as well. So she comes with a total of 6 hands. Not sure what the difference is with, you know, these gripping hands that are on her and the other gripping hands, but maybe it's a slightly looser or tighter grip. But anyway, it's always nice to have extra hands. And then if they're black, you can pop them onto other figures as well. So to review, you have this very cool magical staff with the translucent blue orb. You have the 4 different hands, and you have the 2 magical effects, the skull, right, which fits in really, really nicely, wrapped around her forearm and held by her hand, and then you have the snake. So I really, really like this figure. Like I said, this was one of the most anticipated figures of the batch for me, but just because I'm a sucker for, you know, evil evil women. And they're intriguing, and I mean, who doesn't like the last gal that the 4 Horsemen put out that was kind of like this was Isadora from I think it was the Gothotropolis line, and she also had a black and purple motif. And I see these 2 girls kind of like a evil Thelma and Louise hanging out and having adventures. That's going to be part of my head canon. But yeah, Thraice Wraithhailer, beautiful figure, nice accessories, excellent cape, and you know, options galore when it comes to multiple heads, and then different effects that you can use to you know, have her displayed and incorporate her into your collection or take pictures or whatever. All right, that's my review. This is Thraice, signing out.